All right, Shalom. Let me check the feed real quick. And we'll get right into it. Shalom, Shalom. All right, Shalom. All right, Shalom. All right, we live. There we go. All right, Lord willing, the audio and everything is clear. All right, but anyway, hey, Shalom, before I get started with this live lesson, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. All right, I want to get right into this lesson here. All right, this is news and prophecy. This is the game changer for the purposes of the Lord. All right, and we're gonna make some points on that. Okay, Salaki, I'm thinking I'm dragging a little bit. Let me see if I can get it back to normal. All right. And let me know if I'm like lagging a little bit. All right. So let's get into this thing, man. Quick lesson, getting straight to the point. All right, so let's play this video clip and then we'll get right in. All right. So this came out yesterday. This is Fox News here. It says expert reveals how Putin could trip, quote unquote, into World War III. So let's listen to this.
Well, for more on the escalation between Russia and Ukraine, we're joined on set here by the former CENTCOM spokesperson, retired Army Colonel Joe Buccino. Joe, thanks for being here. I suppose you're glad you don't have your old job right now. These are tough times. Let me first let you weigh in on what seems to be clear escalation, whatever you call it.
It's a clear escalation here. I think it was an escalation that was not necessary. This didn't really need to happen. I think providing the ATACMS to Ukraine, allowing Ukraine to fire ATACMS into Russia was not necessary. They've got a few dozen ATACMS. It's really not enough to strengthen their foothold in Kursk. It's really not enough to change the momentum on the battlefield. And I think in this transition period, transition periods are traditionally not a time to make significant changes in these kinds of geopolitical issues. And I think it's a little bit confusing what's happening here, and I think it makes all this a little bit less stable than it was.
Joe Rogan and others have pointed out, but Joe Rogan yesterday was saying that this leads to possibly World War III. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, the great foreign policy advisor Joe Rogan. I think he's right in this sense. I call this a limited global war. What I mean by that is it's limited to one specific part of the earth, limited to one region, right? But you've got global coalitions on either side. On the Russia side, you've got Iran, you've got China supporting Russia, you've got North Korea. Now you've got 11,000 North Korean troops.
Salakia. Let me add on to that real quick. I had to stop. It was lagging a little bit. But let me add on to what he was saying, all right, which is prophecy. It's Revelation 16, all right. I talk about the alliances that are being made with Russia, but it's prophecy. Pursuant to Ezekiel chapter 38. But let's add on to that. This is Revelation 16 and verse 12, and it reads, Revelation 16, verse 12, it says, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. You see that? So as they were talking about those nations, Russia, aligning themselves to Russia, China, North Korea, and all of that, that's prophecy. Okay, let me add one more. All right, prophecy for the ultimate clash, which is going to be via World War III. All right. Isaiah 14. All right. Isaiah 14 and verse 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. That represents Esau's destruction. It says, it stirreth up the dead for thee. Who's the dead? The heathen nations. All right. As we read in Revelation 16 and 12, dealing with the those kings of the east, he's raising up these heathen nations to come against America, Babylon. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. All the kings are being raised up off the throne, so to speak, right? For this war. It says it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. There you go. All right, so let's go back to the video. Lord willing to play through, right?
You've got global coalitions on either side. On the Russia side, you've got Iran, you've got China supporting Russia, you've got North Korea. Now you've got 11,000 North Korean troops in the fight. Mm-hmm. On the other side, you've got a global coalition around Ukraine, United States, European countries. So you've got a limited global war. Now, you've introduced the ATACMS, right? So you're climbing that escalation ladder. You've introduced this new weapon that Russia is firing. You climb the escalation ladder. I'd be afraid of keep climbing that escalation ladder and you trip into a World War III.
A nuclear one. I mean, that's Putin's point, is saying these are hypersonic ballistic missiles that are nuclear capable. So we'll fire it the first time without the nuke. Maybe the nuke comes next time. Now, he's threatened the nuke thing before, but do you see that as an escalation within itself?
Just the messaging is an escalation, but just think about this. Say that Putin makes good on his threat to fire into the U.S. base in Poland without a nuclear warhead and kills America after it kills American troops. Well, we're in a different place now. We're in a different, now you're really on glide path towards World War III.
A dangerous place.
A dangerous place. Yeah.
Let's talk about
path towards World War III.
A dangerous place.
A dangerous place. Yeah.
Let's talk about incoming. President-elect Trump has said multiple times, or David Spillane at the White House is reporting, Trump has repeatedly said he can solve this in one day, the war in Ukraine. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that he's always been of the mind that there's a peace deal to be brokered here, that he can bring this down and get both sides to agree to some sort of a compromise. The Trump.
Yeah, but the scriptures don't say that. All right. And this is what we've been talking about all week. These false hopes of peace and safety, we get that too. All right. Isaiah 13. Isaiah 13:17, it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. There is no peace. There is no negotiations. There's no diplomacy. All right. So once again, what we're hearing is those delusions, It says their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms and the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. So there's no stopping this thing. Okay. Let's listen on a little bit more.
Right. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that he's always been of the mind that there's a peace deal to be brokered here, that he can bring this down and get both sides to agree to some sort of a compromise. The Trump foreign policy has always really been about the idea that we're no longer going to fund these kinds of wars. We're no longer going to offset or pay out wars for our partners and allies. And so I think, reducing the funding, developing some kind of a frozen conflict where Russia keeps some of the territory it's claimed, perhaps
Which Zelensky says he won't do.
which Zelensky says he won't do. But perhaps there's a carrot and a stick situation with Zelensky where the United States, proffers them to join NATO.
Let's make some points real quick, and we'll finish the rest of that video, right? But just getting into the main part of this lesson here, right? Just adding on to what we just heard from this video. All right, this came out today, November 24th, 2024. It's from newstarget.com. It says in the headline, it says, why these new Russian missiles are real game changers. And like I titled the lesson, okay, this is the game changer for the purposes of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because remember, it's the Lord is the one that's controlling everything. All right, let's not ever forget that. All right, Proverbs 21 and verse 1, and it reads, it says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. See that? Same verse in the NLT. Proverbs 21 and 1, NLT, it says, the king's heart is like a stream of water directed by the Lord. He guides it wherever he pleases. So the Lord is behind this operation, you see. All right. So that's why I said this is the real game changer for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He's the one that's guiding and directing this. Okay. So let's jump down and read. All right, it says, in a response to a U.S. decision to arrange for ballistic missile attacks from Ukraine into Russia, the great magician and president of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, pulled a rabbit from his hat. It says, until now, the new missile and its mission profile have been unknown. It is the clear counter to decade-long efforts of the U.S. to gain supremacy, especially in Europe, over Russia, right? Because as we've been telling you for years that now, all right, these other nations have far more greater nuclear capability than America now. All right, so the tide is shifting, so to speak. Okay, the playing ground is shifting now, right? It says missiles can be classified by the range they are able to achieve, right? So it's going in it's going into the technology that's on these missiles. All right. So number one, it says short range ballistic missiles are designed to target enemy forces within a range approximately 1,000 kilometers. Typically employed in tactical scenarios, they allow for rapid response to regional threats. Number two, medium range ballistic missiles extend to operational range to about 3,500 kilometers. These systems enhance a nation's deterrent capabilities by allowing strikes on targets further away without resorting to intercontinental systems. All right. Number three, my point. It says intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBM, represent the longest range category with capabilities exceeding 5,500 kilometers. These missiles serve as a strategic deterrent capable of delivering payloads across continents. See? And significantly impacting global security dynamics. Let's grab some scriptures, man. Okay? Because that technology that we're reading about is all written here. Okay? Which adds to what I'm saying, the game changer, right? So this is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 13, and it reads, it says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp. That's the ICBMs. And shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. You see that? So those are the ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles, as we read about here. All right. These missiles are capable of delivering payloads across continents and significantly impacting global security dynamics, right? Reading on here. Okay, we'll read it again. For it's 2 Ezra 16:13. For strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. All right, and who represents the right hand? Yahushua, man. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Verse 14, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. So this whole panel that we're watching here on Fox News is dealing with the plagues that are getting ready to come upon this world. okay, which is prophecy. Okay, Zechariah 14 and 12. All right, this is the plague therewith that should fall upon the nations that fought against Jerusalem. Okay, the destruction. It says, verse 15, 2 Ezra 16, 15, it says, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. All right, so this fire that's going to come from the nuclear destruction is not going to be put out. It's going to literally burn itself out. So that means that this place is going to burn for a very, very, very long time. All right. It says, verse 16, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backwards. Even so, the plagues that should be sent upon the earth should not return again. So this whole idea of peace, once again, peace and safety, stopping the wars, that's all BS. Okay. That's all to keep you people blinded and to keep you into hoping in this system. All right. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrow and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Right. So the point that I'm emphasizing is that this is not going to be stopped. All right. Everybody's witnessing the fruits of nuclear war in this lifetime, man. Okay. This is Joel, and I'll go back and finish the video. All right. This is Joel chapter 2, the terrible visitation, right? And that visitation is going to come from those nuclear missiles and also Yahweh Shai in the heavenly forces, the angels. All right. But this is Joel 2 and 1. It says, blow ye the trumpet in Zion. All right. And this is what the prophets represent. All right. We represent the trumpet being blown. That's warning the flock of what's about to happen. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and alarm and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Every day is one step closer to this place being destroyed. All right, as we've been warning you, as we've been yelling from the mountaintop, so to speak, about how the destruction of Babylon is literally at its doorstep. All right, it's no denying that now. Okay, it says, verse 2, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. It says a fire devour before them. Now, what is this talking about? This is getting into the ICBM nuclear missiles, all right, which are likened unto the Lord's camp when we read down in this chapter. All right, it says a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth, right? Going into those missiles, flying through the firmament. All right. It says the land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, nothing shall escape them. Nothing is going to escape, okay, these missiles that are going to be operated and guided by the Lord's Spirit, okay? Because as we were reading once again, all right, we were reading about the technology, the capability of what these different these three classes of missiles can do. Okay, so Joel, the second chapter, this is what it's getting into here. All right, so let's read on some more here. All right, Joel chapter 2, verse 4. It says, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Right? It says, like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, is a strong people set in battle array. So what we're getting into once again is the capability, the technology that these missiles possess. All right, they're going to be in battle array. They're going to be in battle formation before they strike. Okay, it says, before their face, the people should be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. All right, going into the fact of how these people are going to be scorched. All right, in that second death. It says they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march everyone on his ways, and they should not break their ranks. Right. So once again, the technology and really ultimately the Lord's spirit is going to be on these missiles, and they're not going to crash into each other. All right. They're not going to fall out the sky. All right. They're going to hit their destined target. Okay. So the point is that there's no stopping this thing. There's no, there's no Iron Dome. There's no nuclear defense that America could come up against or come up with to stop this from happening. All right. Trump is not going to stop World War III. Okay. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. You see? And when they fall upon the sword, they should not be wounded. Let me get this word for sword. All right. Just to make the point that this is dealing with the missiles. All right. It says when they fall upon the sword, right? So this word for sword here. In that verse, it goes into what? Weapon, missile, sprout, missile, weapon. All right. So this is dealing with the nuclear missiles. Okay. A missile of attack, i.e. spear. Okay. That sword, the Lord said that his sword shall be bathed in heaven, right? Isaiah 34, and it shall come down upon who? Upon Idumea, the people of my curse, to judgment, right? So going back and finishing it out here, it says back in Joel 2:9, it says they shall run to and fro in the city. They should run upon the wall. They should climb upon the houses. They should enter in at the windows like a thief, right? So as these missiles come out of those silos and they go into the firmament and the upper atmosphere, all right, the warheads come back down and they hit the earth, right? As the scriptures say, the windows on high are open. Let me get that too, because it says they shall enter in at the windows like a thief. Let's get that in Isaiah 24 real quick. All right, let me pull that up. This is the book of Isaiah 24. And getting straight to the point, this is Isaiah 24, verse 17. It says, fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitant of the earth. Verse 18, Isaiah 24, verse 18, it says, and it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open. All right, that's the missiles going up into the firmament, into the upper atmosphere. For the windows on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. What's going to cause the earth to shake? The foundations of the earth to shake. Right? It says the earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly, which you can link this up with 2 Peter chapter 3. Okay? How the Lord is going to bring that fervent heat. Okay? It says the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, because the impact from the warheads hitting the earth is going to cause the earth to shake to and fro. Okay? It says, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it. It shall fall and not rise again. And the point is that once Babylon falls, all right, it shall never rise again. So there's no saving it. There's no restoring it. There's no stopping the wars. It's none of that. Okay. So let's go back and finish it out. In Joel chapter 2. Okay. Joel chapter 2 and verse 10, it says, the earth shall quake before them. You see? The heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining, going into the mushroom cloud. You know, the when that smoke goes up into the heavens. All right, it's gonna block out the atmosphere. Right. It says, verse 11. It says, and the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall utter his voice before his army. Once again, those missiles are likened unto the Lord's army, because remember, he's in control of them. And the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. You see, you're talking about 200 million warheads hitting this place. That's going to contribute to the second death. His camp is very great. Okay, these missiles are going to cover the skies when they come down, man. For he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai is great and very terrible. who can abide it? Exactly. The day of the Lord is going to be great and very terrible. All right, when this destruction hits Babylon, America, and various parts of the planet Earth. All right, the Lord is going to use, once again, let's get that too. The Lord is going to use World War III. He's going to use this destruction to bring in a new heaven and a new earth. He's going to use that to rearrange the planet. All right, mountains and islands are going to be removed out of their places, as the prophecy says. Right, Isaiah 65:17, new heavens and a new earth. It says, for behold, Isaiah 65:17, for behold, I create a new heavens and a new earth, and the former should not be remembered nor come to mind. Exactly, because this is the end of everything as we know it on this side, man. You see, that's how the Lord is going to do that. The nuclear destruction is going to usher in a new heaven and a new earth. How about that, man? You see, every purpose of Yahweh Shem Shah has a what's the word? It has a purpose, it has a solution. It says, but be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing and her people a joy. All right, which is the point. Okay, so let's go back and finish those last few minutes. And then we'll go back to this article as well, right?
Says he won't do, but perhaps there's a carrot and a stick situation with Zelensky where the United States, proffers them to join NATO.
The Washington Post editorial board said that if Trump abandons Ukraine, it will be akin to something like Afghanistan under Biden. What do you make of it?
Those situations are not parallel. That doesn't fully make sense to me. We had American troops in Afghanistan that we withdrew. We had partners that did risk their lives to support American troops for 20 years. We don't have American troops in Ukraine. We've been funding this war. We've been funding Ukraine now for 33 months. And, with limited gain. Obviously there was a stunning success in the beginning with Ukraine holding the line. And then, the kind of momentum never shifted back to Ukraine after the Russian counteroffensive.
But do you see their point? And it's not just the Washington Post. It's others who have said that, if Trump were to fully abandon Ukraine and quickly, it would make America weaker and embolden dictators like Putin.
It depends on how a peace deal is brokered. It really would depend on sides, and I really wouldn't want to kind of speculate too much on that. But I'd imagine that if there's a peace deal brokered whereby both sides come away with some sort of messaging win, some sort of messaging success, that you could really have a kind of messaging win for the United States across the world as well. At a certain point, you're kind of throwing money at this war without much gain. So,
in the last 10 seconds I got, do you have a messaging advice for the incoming Trump administration on how they handle this?
What I would say is that you've got to. There has to be a gain. There has to be a win for Zelensky. Some sort of success that Zelensky can point to internally to Ukrainian and to the rest of Europe.
Right. So, and I'm going to play this video next. It sounds pretty heavy too. Right here it says, analysis, should the West fear Putin's unstoppable hypersonic missiles? Right. We'll play that in a little bit. I'm curious to see what that goes into. But as it says there, it says Putin, there is no countermeasure. So there's nothing that Babylon can do, man. All right. So let's get some more scriptures real fast. All right. So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 22. And it reads, it says, a sound of battle is in the land. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? All right. In America, Babylon would represent that hammer of the whole earth. Right. But this, now we're dealing with in the time of this place being taken down, cut asunder and broken. All right. And Russia and these nations that are aligning themselves with them are going to be part of that. They're going to take part of taking this place down. Verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee, which is a trap, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. So now it's the time of recompense. Okay, the Most High Yahweh Shemel Shai has laid that snare. Now you don't have the top, nuclear capability as you thought. Okay, Russia and these other nations have surpassed you, right? And now you've been found and caught because you striven against the Lord, right? It says the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation, which is what? The missiles, the game changer, as we read, right? But this is the work of the Lord power, Yahweh Shemel Shai, in the land of the Chaldeans, Babylon, America. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, destroy her utterly, let nothing of her be left. Slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, all right? That's you people. Okay, the bullocks and the bulls. Isaiah 34, you're going to be part of the sacrifice, the second death, the wicked. Esau and the nations and you 2/3. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. It says, the voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, our power, the vengeance of his temple. All of this is done. All of this is being done, okay, for the Israelites, the Lord's people, starting with the elect. Okay, he's going to avenge us upon Babylon, right? Verse 29, it says, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow. Camp against it round about, let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done. Do unto her, for she have been proud against the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, against the Holy One of Israel, right? So the Lord is calling those archers against this place, all right? The different militaries, the nations to shoot nuclear missiles on this land, all right? So let's go back to the article. Let's see if there's any more that we can take from it, all right? But the headline again is what? Why these new Russian missiles are the real game changers, right? And there's nothing America, Babylon can do, okay? So it says, let's jump down. It says the U.S., Russia, and China have developed all three types of weapons. All right, the three missiles. All right, the three categories of these missiles. Right. It says in the late 1980s, on the initiative of the Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, I'm not even going to say the last name. It says the U.S. and the Soviet Union signed the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, INF. All right. It says the INF treaty banned all of the two nations' nuclear and conventional ground launch ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and missile launches with ranges of 500 to 1,000 kilometers. It says the 1,000 to 5,500 kilometers. The treaty did not apply to air or sea launch missiles. By 1991, the nations had eliminated 2,692 missiles, followed by 10 years of on-site verification inspections. All right, but we're in a time where all of that's being scrapped. Okay. Yeah, so we ain't got to read on. So you see what's happening here, man. Okay, let's grab this scripture and then we'll go to that next video that I wanted to play. Right. So this is Zephaniah 1. And I want to get straight to the point. Let's start at 16. So Zephaniah 1 and 16 says, a day of trumpet and an alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring stress upon men that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, and their blood shall be poured out as dust and their flesh as dung. The point, verse 18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's, Yahweh Shemel Shai's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. All right, that speedy riddance is going to come by these intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. Okay? Capable of delivering payloads across continents and significantly impacting global security dynamics, man. There you go. That's the game changer, right? So let's listen to a little bit of this video. We'll wrap it up. Let's pull this up here. Let this pass. Should the West fear Putin's unstoppable hypersonic missile? Right?
Production of a new hypersonic missile that hit Ukraine last week. He says Western defense systems aren't able to stop the missile, and no other country has anything like it. It all comes amid warnings of a wide.
Here it is. It's over, man. Okay. Once this is set off, it's a done deal. Okay.
Wider conflict after Ukraine used British and American missiles to hit targets inside Russia. Let's get reaction from military analyst Sean Bell. Good to see Sean. President Putin then saying he's got a lot more of these missiles and he is prepared to use them, but they're still not fully formed. They're being tested, aren't they? They're not the real deal at the moment.
Yeah, there's some interesting conversation backwards and forwards, isn't there? The Oreshnik missile, it was an experimental missile. The Americans said he's only got a handful of them. Putin's therefore said, no, I've got loads of them. It is a pre-production model that they've got. The question is how many they built. You don't run a production run until you've ironed out the wrinkles. It does appear they may have between 6 and 10 of these missiles. So we might see another one launched again. Going from a test to a production, though, is a whole set of new challenges. You need a whole load of bulk technology. The sanctions are really having an impact there, unless China, of course, helps out with it. The main two issues, though, actually, from a warfighting perspective, are one of which, tactically, how does President Zelensky deal with this new threat? And the second one is the threatening rhetoric from Russia. There's been lots of focus on this 3,100-mile range, basically saying, look, West, you're in most of Europe is within range of this. And I have to remind the viewers here, just, for literally decades, both America and Russia have had thousands of missiles capable of carrying ordnance halfway around the world. There is absolutely nothing new about this. The reason it's happening now is Putin is trying to up the ante, threaten the West, because he's trying to prepare himself for a negotiating position early next year. And the more the West is scared, the more the West just wants the war dealt with. It might well be he gets all sorts of palliatives that are involved, and such as sanctions being lifted, etc. So he's definitely playing to Putin, and danger is it rewards his aggression if the West decides to accede to that.
The footage.
Yeah, it's going down. We don't even got to watch the rest of the video. This is you're not stopping the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. All right. So once again, this is the game changer. All right. 2025 coming in is going to be a hell of a year, man. Very, very interesting times we're living in, man. All right. The prophecies speak louder and louder every day, man. All right. But once again, that is the game changer. Say, hey, we're set up here to warn you, to give you the news and prophecy, man. All right, every day, man, one step closer. All right, so hey, I pray that you were edified, man. Just wanted to, link up those stories there, bring out some scriptures, and we're gonna close it out by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. And double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect, that's pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. All right, it's going down. Shalom.